What's going on, guys? So in this video, I'll be unboxing and giving my first impressions of the Z Fold 6 and the Z Flip 6, which I will actually save this one for a different video. Nice. I actually still have the Z Fold 5, so I'll be doing like a very quick overview comparison. But you know what? I wish I had something to compare to. That was a terrible transition, but it's our sponsor. Nobody. All right, so first we have to give credit where credit is due, and the box is printed in Mexico. And when it comes to the device itself, as you can see there, it is made in Vietnam. Has a bit of a different box design. As you can see, there's a shadow behind the fold, and they're a little bit more distinct with the black. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this unboxed. So ladies and gentlemen, here is the new Z Fold 6. Honestly, this color, I have to say, is probably one of the best colors next to the last generation, like this cayenne sky blue. Let's go ahead and take this out. Wow, that is a very unsatisfying peel, but we got to give it a nice smell test. Doesn't smell like anything, so I would say that passes the smell test. Or I have COVID. Looking in the box here, it is a pretty thick box, but honestly, nowadays, like I tell most companies, if you're gonna give us a cable, that's great, but in terms of the paperwork, you can probably just, have this be a QR code somewhere that we can scan. Don't think we need to be killing all these trees to print out this paperwork that realistically, no one is really going to read. And you're changing the terms and conditions every 5 months anyway with all this AI stuff. Let me take you guys around the device real quick. So on the bottom here, we have our USB-C and microphone. And then on the other side, I believe this is a speaker. On the left-hand side, we have our fingerprint scanner and lock button, and then the volume rock right here with our 5G antenna band. And then we have some more speakers and microphones up here. Then on the other side, all we have is the SIM card removal tray. And I'm actually going to pop in my SIM right now. So the first thing you're going to notice is everything is less rounded, and this is something that you see going from the S23 lineup to the S24, where things are just more squared off and more boxy. And that holds true when it goes over to the Z6 lineup. So the Fold, a lot more sharper corners, nothing is really rounded. The screen does look slightly bigger on the cover screen, and the inside, I believe they have added a bit more screen real estate. And once again, you can even see, if I were to turn this on, you see how it's a bit rounded here when it goes to the edge of the screen. All this seems a bit more squared off and feels like I'm holding a proper book now that, the corners kind of just like sink directly into my hand. But anyway, that's enough talk about the Z Fold 5. Let's go ahead and get into the Z Fold 6. So the phone is finally set up, and I gotta admit, the color I chose from Samsung.com, I don't think it's an online exclusive. You should be able to pick this one up at other retailers. This has got to be the best color. I usually go for the lighter colors like white or silver, but this darker finish of like a navy blue, it's looking pretty good. The thing people are talking about the most is definitely the camera bumps. It looks like there's like some type of protective ring around them, which I guess helps. But I would say compared to last generation, it just seems a lot more obtrusive this time around with these metal rings or whatever is covering or around the camera lens. But I would say just from how boxy it is, the front display seems way more usable than before. It's not like the other one was bad, the Z Fold 5, but when it comes to using the outer display, just having it be a little bit more pushed out a bit and the corners aren't rounded off, it just feels like you have more screen real estate. So the best thing about the Fold is if you don't want to use it as a traditional smartphone, you can just go ahead, open it up. I will say opening up the hinge feels a lot less difficult. I remember when I first got the Z Fold 5, I had to like wear it in a bit, but this one seems a bit more forgiving when it comes to opening it up. So some of the updates that Samsung made with the Z Fold 6 is that, for one, it is lighter, and it is definitely noticeable coming from the previous generation. I believe it's at around 240 grams compared to 250 of last year. The other thing to note is that it is now IP48 rated, so it has a bit more durability, and even when it comes to closing the display, it feels less rough and rigid. Everything just feels more smooth. We also have some changes on the inside screen as well. So this does go up to 2600 nits, and we do have 0.1 of an inch bigger than last generation. So we're getting more screen real estate, and it feels, I hate to say it, more like a OnePlus Open, but the OnePlus Open felt slightly bigger. I could be wrong because it's been a while since I've held that phone. But compared to last generation, it does feel bigger in the hand to hold. Like I said before, we do have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 compared to 8 Gen 2. And then I hate to break the news to you guys, but that's really the only major differences compared to last generation on the hardware side. And I know Samsung spent a tremendous amount of time talking about AI, which I think is great and all. So if I go over to my Z Fold 5, and I don't have an option for Galaxy AI, but what I do have the option for is Advanced Intelligence. And if I click on Advanced Intelligence, you'll see that it's pretty much the same, just different wording at the top. Obviously, there are some features that are exclusive to the Z Fold 6, but generally speaking, it's pretty much the same. We have Drawing Assist and the Photo Ambient Wallpaper and Health Assist that are the new things, but I'd say the core features that people are most likely going to use are the ones that are upgraded for the Z Fold 5. Okay, so let's just draw an object real quick. What is something that I should draw? Maybe an apple. Can I draw an apple? And then this can be the little thing at the top. Do some AI and sketch to image. Let's see how well you do. Watercolor is definitely the worst. Let's do sketch. It's probably just going to be a ball. I'm aiming for an apple. This is the worst. Wow, it actually got it. I mean, it's a dented apple, but it got it. Wow, that's actually not that bad. What the heck? Okay, well, I am genuinely impressed. Let me try that again. How does it know it's an apple? But it's bringing my drawing to life. This isn't that bad. This one's pretty good. I mean, this looks like a metal piece is coming out of my apple, but from that to that, it's not bad. Okay, this is just actually terrible. This isn't that bad. This one, the second to last one is always the best. This one is pretty good. Spot on. I don't know what's going on here. But that's some of the AI features. If you are interested on more of the AI features that Samsung offers on their smartphones, go check out my video on the S24. I do a much deeper dive, especially on the S24 Ultra, first unboxing and impressions, and the day in life videos. But let's go back and check out how this display and speaker look. By the way, where is the text? You guys see this? Oh, there we go. I don't want a surround test. I want a HDR test. Let's do this one. Okay, so I'm gonna have to restart YouTube because I just can't see any of the options that are available to me, which is kind of annoying. Don't know why that happens. Yeah, it's just like messed up. So what I'm going to do real quick, once again, I'm showing you guys live, what happens when you get a brand new phone. Things like this do happen when you do a transfer, but this is probably the first that I've seen YouTube act out like this. So I'm just gonna do a quick update. Hopefully that refreshes all the stuff that's in the background and just gives me a brand new app whenever I load up. I know what some people are going to say right now, like, what is this in the background? It's ruining everything. But if you could ignore the overhead image, this is proper OLED, okay? The fact that when you're looking at this, if it looks like the food is in a dark void, that is what we mean by inky black as tech reviewers. You see nothing. So in terms of the display, you're not going to be disappointed. It's definitely better than last generation. Is it worth the upgrade? I don't know. Maybe with the trade-in offer that Samsung has, it could be worth it, but buying it straight out, $1,800, I don't think so. So I just want to check out what this looks like on the cover display, and you can even see on the outer display how black it really is. Like if I were to go into a dark room and hold this in my hand, the only thing you should realistically see is this piece of sushi. And when I open it up, it should just be right there. I think this is actually a pretty good test right here. So you guys let me know what you think of the display. I would say this is definitely flagship territory. I know some other displays go up in terms of higher nit count, but in terms of just quality of the pixels and the colors, I'd say Samsung is definitely up there in terms of leading the pack. The speakers sound about the same, honestly, but maybe it's objectively better, more clear on the Z Fold 6, but I can't really tell a difference between the two, if I'm gonna be completely honest. But I think the other thing people wanna talk about are the cameras. So going through some of the photos, this is the front facing camera. So it's that under display camera that you may or may not be able to see under lighter conditions or lighter colors on the screen. It's a bit easier to tell where it is, but regardless, this doesn't look that great. It honestly looks like it was made with AI. My face is completely blurry. The back, it just does not look good, okay? So I'll leave it there. You have 3 good cameras on the back that you can use this display to see what's going on. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So this is using the regular wide angle lens. I'm not sure what the specs are. I'll have it somewhere on the screen, but honestly, it doesn't look too bad. I'd say the yellow background that I have on these walls, the last 10 it had, is probably doing a better job doing an intensity of how the camera can perform. So it looks like I'm just in a daze, but my face is pretty sharp. I do like that. Going over to the next type, I believe this is portrait mode. Probably have to get a better background to see how the background effect is doing its job, but I'm pretty much in detail. The bottom portion here, you can tell, I'd say is doing a little bit too much blurring and probably got confused. But this is the 2x portrait mode. Pretty good overall. That is a decent amount of detail that you can pick up using the back camera lens. You can even see like the frame of my hoodie on the hood part. And then where is it? This is the 3x on the portrait mode. So once again, wow, this is actually some crazy detail. Okay, can you cooperate with me, please? There we go. Look at the detail in my skin. Why do you keep zooming out? There we go. Look at the detail in my skin. You can see like the Rocky Mountains all over my face. So if you want the best detail of a camera on a foldable phone, you want to use the back ones every single time. So coming up to my final thoughts on the Z Fold 6 for my first impressions, not review, because I don't want people to take this as a review. It feels very similar to the Z Fold 5. I didn't watch the Samsung event, but I know a lot of people Samsung talked about AI for eons in their presentation. And I understand AI is great, but I don't know why they are marketing it as if this is the only phone that's getting it, because the last generation just got an update for One UI 6.1, which basically has all the AI features. If you don't care about the sketching and making your own AI stuff, tough luck, you're not going to be able to get it on the old generation, but the latest generation of the Z series is going to be able to get those AI features. You do have the latest processor now, but the last gen processor was pretty good. You're getting a better display on the inside and outside, a more boxy, more comfortable design, a more robust hinge. Other than that, oh yeah, and the colors. I gotta admit, the colors this time around, it's pretty good. But other than that, I don't know if I would tell you guys to go out and buy this. I'd say trade it up if you want and you have the excess money. But to buy this straight up, I just don't think it's worth it. But my SIM card's in. I'm going to be using this for some time, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts. Day in the life video will be coming out on this device as well, so stay tuned for that. Then the Z Flip 6 is coming on the channel, so hopefully you guys get subscribed for that. Appreciate every single sub, like, and comment. Hopefully we can hit 100K before the end of the year, and as always, guys, much love. I do think Samsung did a pretty good job with the whole 6 thing. I mean, does this not look like a 6? Z Fold 6. You get it? All right, see you guys. I will save the Z Flip 6 for a different video. don't have a couch, but I can probably still toss this somewhere. But I will save the 6 for a different video. But how is anyone gonna know what 6 I'm talking about? Because I'm talking about the flip 6. Let's do this again.